What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to episode number 4 for Goldgell Getaways Travel Podcast. My name is Josh, and as always, each and every week, I'm joined with my good friend Matt, the co-host.
What's going on, Josh? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. It's a little bit different. Usually we're here on a Friday. I also have to introduce Taylor. She's also here tonight. She is a special guest.
I was super excited about that intro. Like the music and everything sounds so good. I mean,
Thank
I
you.
watch it every week, but I mean, actually like hearing it in my headphones was like a whole different thing.
I try.
It pumps you up, get you motivated.
It did. Yeah. I'm like
Absolutely.
so excited now.
Yes. If you don't know who Goldgell Getaways is, we are a full-service travel agency helping you plan your next destination vacation, wherever it is, whether it's here to Walt Disney World. I say here because that's where we're kind of at, or whether it's around the world, whenever things start to open back up. We do have somebody who has been at least someplace, probably where you're trying to go. So whether you have big kids, small kids, or no kids at all, we have somebody who can help you plan your next destination vacation. You can send an email to info@goldgellgetaways.com maybe,
Yes.
or you could just go to www.goldgellgetaways.com. And there's a free quote that you can just fill out, and we'll get somebody hooked up with you to start planning. So yeah. Taylor is not the only guest that we have this week. We also have another agent from Goldgell Getaways.
Hi,
Hello.
everybody. Hi, how's everybody today? I am
We're good
Christine with Goldgell Getaways. I'm based out of Michigan for the agency. Been with Goldgell Getaways for about 2.5 years now, specializing in Disney magic. We've gone to Disney more times than my family would like to admit, because we're Disney fanatics. Excuse the mess behind me, everybody. Office is currently being remodeled, so I'm kind of crammed in the storage bedroom here with everybody. But thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. This week is we don't have a lot of news to cover, but I think we have a really, really good topic to talk about, and Christine's going to be leading the charge on that topic this week. So we will move on to our. Oh, I almost saw you swipe back.
No,
Oh man, you scared me. We're going to move on to our sponsorship, which is Learn to Cook Online with Adam. You can learn to cook new and exciting dishes each week from the comfort of your home. And I got a little special video I can throw up there for you guys. He's a celebrity chef featured on the Food Network's Chop and Restaurant Express with Robert Irvine. And each and every week, there's a different class going on. If you're interested, he also has classes that you can do kind of like a bundle. So there's always something new and different that is going on that you can jump in and be a part of. And if you're interested in that, I saw Matt kind of bounce out there for a second. What's going on, Matt?
I'm back.
You can send an email to Adam at the chefthedigitator@gmail.com. Doing a lot of really cool stuff. And I know he has got some really good classes I would love to try and check out. And we do have some classes coming up.
Yes.
Yeah, Josh. We got the January 30th class, free class of theme park copycats. That's going to be at 7:30 on Saturday the 30th. We're going to go over churros. Rumor is there's going to be a chocolate dipping sauce with that, and also cheeseburger egg rolls. Everybody's favorite.
Those are going to be good. You know, I saw Adam today, and I remember now talking about this last week. I should have told him to maybe throw in a little bit of the. I don't know if you were listening, but I said it'd be really cool to do the maple bacon churros from Disneyland that I ate whenever we were there on the live stream. Remember?
Those were
That would be
so
cool.
good.
Did he accept that challenge?
I totally forgot to even say something about it. You know, I was thrown off, so I didn't even think about it. Maybe I'll send him a text. I'll just send another text to Pam. I've sent her like 5 already, so you know.
That's like the list. Just send another text to Pam.
So we have this first class. It is free for you to come in, join. There is a form, I think, in the description. There might not be. I might have to add it afterwards. Or you can check out last week's video in the description. I definitely know that there's a link in there. And sign up. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do all the cooking. We may or may not have a special cocktail to make as well. I haven't decided yet because that will rest on my shoulders. And if you guys enjoy it a lot, which I know I really think that you will, we have a bunch of other classes that are coming up as well. And the future classes will be an additional charge. And you can pay per class, or you can do a bundle price, which will save you a little bit of money on the long run. So anything to add? Anybody?
No, I've done.
Sounds like fun.
I've done a few of these classes. They're very easy classes for the novice person in the kitchen like myself. And
but our Halloween party, basically for the agents this past year, in 2020, we had a virtual Halloween party with all of the agents, and we actually kind of did one of the cooking classes. We did cake pops, and Adam did the chicken wings.
Yeah, the Ohana wings.
Yeah, and then you made that witch's brew drink. We found those really cool glasses, and Adam got dry ice. Who knew you could get dry ice in Publix?
To use it. I was afraid to use it.
Let's not forget who had some of the better costumes.
Matt had the best costume.
Matt, you should send me a photo and I'll throw it up on the screen.
It was like a complete surprise, but it was awesome.
That was hilarious. That was a great photo too. A lot of people probably don't know, but Matt dressed up as myself. So
I don't think I ever posted it on.
No, I posted it.
Matt posted it? Yeah.
I posted it.
Anybody out there who doesn't know who Taylor and I are, we do have a separate YouTube channel called the WDW Couple. And so, I guess I have the reputation of always wearing a hat backwards with sunglasses and a beard. So Matt took it upon himself to basically recreate that. And it was actually very good.
It was hilarious.
It was actually very good. So
I like to call that was Josh during COVID with the big puffy beard.
Oh my gosh. Over the summer, it was huge.
Let's not forget I had the backpack, the gimbal.
Oh,
and Oakley's on.
That is true. I forgot about that.
I went all out.
All out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I still lost. And I still lost the competition.
I think sometimes kids winning is a little more important. Oh wait, no, kids didn't win.
No, it was.
I forgot.
It was
Oh man. No. Oh,
I remember.
It was
Oh man.
I leave these things to Matt.
I think it was Paul and Kristen, wasn't it? They did Taco Bell.
Oh, that's right.
She dressed like a taco, and she dressed like that.
That's right.
That was it.
That's right. All right. Well, So, shameless plug for Goldgell Getaways. If you're interested in becoming a travel agent, we are hiring, and you can participate in some really fun activities, like
shameless plug,
like a little
Goldgell Getaways.
Well, I know. But you can participate in some fun activities, like our little, Halloween party that we did.
When we have GoldCon.
And when we have GoldCon coming up this year,
End of October.
Okay,
and speaking of group events, which will transition very well into our next topic, we are talking all about Royal Caribbean Group Cruise. This is a 7-night Alaskan cruise, originally for July of this year. We're moving it to 2022. I was trying to check with Pam for the exact date, but it should be July 8th of 2022. If you're interested in that, highly suggest that you check it out. It will be on Ovation of the Seas.
Yep.
And
it's out of Seattle
to
Alaska,
going up into Alaska and coming back, and it is going to be breathtaking. That's going to be amazing. And it was very difficult to choose to move it, but
we basically did it because even if it does end up sailing this year in 2021, we just wanted to make sure that we were going to be able to do everything, like be able to get off the ship at the ports and actually still enjoy our time on the ship, because wearing a mask in a theme park and social distancing in a theme park is not as big of a deal as it would be on a cruise ship, because theme parks are huge.
Right.
Cruise ships, there's only so much space.
Yeah.
So we just want to make sure we have the best time, especially because going to Alaska could be like a once-in-a-lifetime trip.
And I think it's a good way to look at that. So we've reached out to quite a few of the people who are already in the group, and I think a lot of them, are comfortable with that, knowing that we're going to move it to 2022. So if you're interested, we will be having some group events that you can partake in, whether that's either excursions or something on the ship, something fun that we did last year, which I got to change this video. So
is it still you dancing?
So this is our group from last year. And yes, it is Matt, still of me dancing. You know what I should do is not to promote alcohol consumption, but one of the really fun events that we did was a bar crawl on Harmony of the Seas. I just can't even.
It just makes me laugh every time I see it.
I can't even bear to look at that.
It's pretty bad, actually.
We did a bar crawl, and it was a lot of fun. We checked out a couple of different places along the way, and yeah. So, not necessarily saying that that'll be the same thing that we do, but just some good stuff to just kind of relax and don't feel pressure to do anything. So, if you're interested, you can send an email to events@goldgellgetaways.com, and the email is spelled correctly this week. Thanks to Matt.
And just mention the 7-night Alaskan group cruise.
Right.
Yes. Oh, that would be important. Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
And the fun part is all 4 of us are going to be on that ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I have clients looking forward to the Bionic Bar.
Oh yeah. It's like the best thing.
It's so
Especially
cool.
if you get a drink package, because then you can literally make whatever and any kind of drinks you want. And if you don't like it, then, well, just go get another one.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good way to look at it, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, cool. If nobody else has anything else to add, we will move into this week's news. Boom. That doesn't fade out very well. I got to fix that. But yeah, so we do have some news coming out this week. It's not a really news-heavy type of week. But we do have some updates coming from Walt Disney World, specifically that Jungle Cruise is going to be reimagined, I guess would probably be the best way to put it. If you guys haven't seen, the clip that's playing right now is the official kind of video that Disney had released. And, you know, I think that no matter what happens, it's still going to be a really great ride. I honestly kind of, when I had seen the news about it and when the updates were supposed to happen, it sounded like it might correlate with the new Jungle Cruise movie that is starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and the new Mary Poppins, right?
Yeah.
Not
Julie Andrews.
It's
Not
Emily Blunt.
Yes.
Emily Blunt. Yes.
She's married to Jim.
Oh, that's right.
From The Office.
Which is so strange. And yeah, so, you know, really all they're saying is, you know, they're excited to share that they are building on the story of Jungle Cruise at both Disneyland and Walt Disney World to include some new adventures that stay true to the experience that we all know and love. There will be more humor, wildlife, and skippers, and also reflects the values and the diversity of the world around us. So just, you know, kind of doing a nice little update for it. And you can see right now they were showing kind of that iconic pool being reimagined with skippers. And
well, I'm glad I got a picture of it.
Well, I mean,
the last time we rode it, because you never know.
Well, we live here, so we could always go back.
I know, but what if they take it down before we get back? You never know. The line is always long.
I think there would probably be like some type of announcement.
I gotta find the photo.
I bet you the lines have probably been pretty long. I don't know. Matt, I don't know if you ever checked queue lines.
Well,
yeah, I didn't.
Splash Mountain. Was great.
That was
like,
great.
Like when we went, when we did the parks that day, we didn't hit that due to the fact that the lines were that long for the Jungle Cruise.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
But that's always been a popular ride to start with. Now it's just gonna make it even more popular. Hopefully they don't get rid of everything. Hopefully they don't get rid of the backside of water. Nobody.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good joke.
That will bring a tear to my eye if they get rid of that one.
For sure.
But I think Disney's moving with what's going on in today's environment, and it's Disney. It's going to be better. It's going to be a better experience. I think you said it's going to change with the skippers. The skippers are going to be a little bit more involved within the ride, so I think that's going to be cool.
Yeah. I had a hard time accepting it at first, but now that I think about it, whenever I just mentioned Splash Mountain, like, I'm glad that the whole entire ride is not changing and that it's still going to be Jungle Cruise, and that, you know, we'll still get that whole same vibe and, you know, just updated.
For sure.
I can handle that.
If you guys don't have anything else to add, Matt, I'm actually going to throw it to you because
Yep.
I changed the camera battery because I forgot to do it before we started. So we won't. You might just see our faces go away, but you'll still be able to hear our audio.
Nice.
Take it away, Matt.
All right. Other news coming out of Disney this week: Blizzard Beach. Then is going to be the next park that opens up for Walt Disney World. They're going to be opening on March 7th. Everybody's been curious on what the requirements are going to be. So face masks for ages 2 and up for park entrance and exit and the retail and food experiences. But when you're going to go on the rides, no masks are needed. The one comment that wasn't made was lounging, similar to what the pools are. I'm curious on what that is going to consist of. Is it going to be like the pools at the resorts where you can just kind of lounge around with no mask on, or you got to have your mask on unless you're in a line to get on a water ride? I'm excited about this. It's another step in the right direction towards another park opening, another good thing that Disney's doing. So hopefully things are going to go well towards this. And hey, it's Josh again.
Wrong camera.
And Josh, you guys have been to Blizzard Beach a lot more times than I have. How do you think the crowds are going to be right out the gate for that?
I honestly don't think they're going to be too bad, especially since because of the time of year that they are opening. A lot of people don't really go to the water parks this time of year, even though it's hot in Florida, like year round. It's, the water parks are only busy in the summertime.
And Matt, again, I wasn't really hearing much of what you're talking about. I think they're still doing Park Pass, correct, for the water parks?
Yes.
Assumption
Yes.
right here. I don't think it's going to be that bad then. I mean, they'll easily be able to crowd control.
Oh, yeah.
It's not anything like Universal. Well, of course, they haven't opened up yet, so I can't really say that.
Opened yet?
Well, Blizzard Beach hasn't reopened up yet.
Oh.
But, when we kind of take a step back and we look at what Universal has done over there at Volcano Bay, no reservation system at all to really kind of crowd control people. So it's kind of just you're just kind of wondering if it's going to be really busy, if it's not going to be super busy, are you going to get there and they're going to be closed? So I think Disney's probably doing it the best way to have their Park Pass system set up for that. And I did not also hear if you had said how the mask system was going to work.
There's still questions about that from the press release that they had. So it's ages 2 and up, just like the parks.
Yep.
Entrance to the park, when you're exiting the park, when you're getting food, and when you're buying retail items. But it doesn't say anything about lounging around like the areas.
Yeah. So when we went to Volcano Bay over Labor Day weekend with Josh's brothers, and whenever you got there, you did have to wear your mask into the park. They did their security check like they always do, whatever. And then when you got into the park, essentially, once you were through the main entrance and like walking onto the beach, you could take your mask off.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much. So basically, the whole entire time you were in the park, as long as you weren't getting food or drink or shopping, you could have your mask off when you're standing in the lines, when you're on the slides, when you're out in the wave pool, everything. Just walking around to get to different attractions, you didn't have to have your mask. So we actually just put ours in our bags, and then whenever we were ready for lunch, we went back, got our masks, went and got lunch, and then when we sat down to eat, we were able to take them off again. But yeah, pretty much the whole entire day you don't have to wear it, because I mean, even if you're wearing a mask and it's wet, it's not doing anything.
Right.
Anyway.
They do mention that in the press release.
Yeah. And I mean, one thing that I did see a lot of people have were the neck gaiters. Some of those people did leave those on, and when they moved about, it was wet, but they still put it over their face, I think, just to kind of be courteous to other guests.
I think that's more of like a personal preference.
And it is a personal preference. I mean, to be honest, Labor Day weekend, we got in there early, basically right when the park opened.
Yeah,
and we got to do everything that we wanted to do basically by lunchtime. So it still had not gotten very busy, and I think we still felt pretty safe kind of running around, and because we didn't wait in any lines at all, I don't think.
We rode the most popular attraction twice.
Yeah,
and we walked on
the roller coaster.
Yeah,
water coaster, whatever you want to call it.
So I mean, not that I don't want Disney to get a lot of crowds and people, because I want there to be people there so that we can bring cast members back and everything like that. But like, it would also be nice whenever it opens to have low crowds. However, it's not part of our annual pass anymore, so we won't even be able to go, I'm sure.
That's also true.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think it'll be good. It needs to open back up. It's kind of a push to kind of get to some more
especially
normalcy,
since we're going to start getting into the warmer months here in the spring. So
I'll sacrifice and I'll try it out.
Did they announce in the press release, because I didn't hear anything, if they're going to follow the same percentage for guest capacity in Blizzard Beach as they do in each of the theme parks?
I didn't see that either, but I would assume so.
I would think so. But those percentages might be skewed differently.
Well, they will, because 30% at Blizzard Beach maximum capacity is going to be different
than
Magic Kingdom.
Obviously, with when you take square footage into account, but there may be other things that they're looking at as far as having people basically running around without a mask on. I mean, this is all me just making an assumption. They may not be thinking this at all, but I would still expect to see probably less people than you would normally see at the water parks. Because they can get really, really busy.
They can.
But I would assume that we're probably going to see pretty low crowds there. And it might be a really great time to be there with little people. So, or few people, I should say, not little people, but you know. But
continue on.
Sorry.
Once I get in my bathing suit body back, couple sit-ups, I'll sacrifice and go for everybody and let everybody know how it is.
Perfect.
Yeah. We're leaving that up to you.
So we want to move on to some cruise line news.
Yeah. Debbie Downer coming at you again.
Wah.
So I got a lot of different info coming at you. So sailings this is all Disney Cruise Line. So the Fantasy is canceled through April 24th. The Dream is canceled through April 30th. The Magic is through May 6th, and the Wonder is through May 12th. Yeah, everybody has pretty much the same reaction. Also, it's expected because Disney Cruise Lines hasn't really put out that much information. So it was just we were waiting for that big knockout blow to when the information was going to come, and it just came all at once at us.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. Well, just being here in Florida where we have the how restaurants and stores and everything can operate at 100% capacity now. Theme parks are actually able to as well. They just haven't done that yet because they're kind of taking it at their own pace. It's just sad that we don't have the luxury of having anything open really with cruise lines out of U.S. ports yet.
Right.
It's like we have nothing to work with.
Yeah. I got more Debbie Downer, more. Yeah, Taylor. It's just the last 48 hours. Yeah. The Carnival Magic, Paradise, and Valor cruises are canceled till the end of October. The Carnival Radiance, which is supposed to debut in Long Beach, has been moved all the way to November. And the Carnival Miracle will be repositioned into Long Beach until the Radiance starts. So Carnival pushed way back in a lot of the ships.
Back. And I mean, well, we were just talking about this with the Royal Caribbean cruise that we pushed back ourselves. I mean, they might also be thinking about guest experience. What are they actually going to be able to do once cruising starts?
Right.
I mean, if cruising starts this summer, they're still going to be super limited, especially once they see what they're able to do. I mean, because I've seen some cruises, some cruise videos out of other countries,
right?
And they're still able to do quite a bit, but with all the social distancing, everything is super limited.
Yeah, and I mean, if anybody out there is wondering, why are some cruise lines delaying to a certain point, say Disney's really doing up till about May. Other cruise lines are doing it further out. A lot of these are based on where these ships are ported at normally, their home ports. So, here in the U.S., I think they were saying the first ports that would open up for cruising and for cruise testing would be, I think, Port Canaveral and maybe Miami.
I think it was those two. Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale or something like that. So, a lot of other, cruise lines have ships that port, maybe out of Texas or California, Seattle, for example. So if they're already being restricted to only being able to set sail out of one port, it's only natural that we're going to see some of these other, ship specific further out as far as setting sail again. And, it's unfortunate, but again, hopefully we'll start to see a turnaround here roughly soon.
Right.
So
that's rough.
Anybody got any good news?
Yeah.
Good news. So I know we talked about it, I think maybe 2 episodes ago, which was Mardi Gras being served up over at Universal. Taylor and I are actually going to be doing a short little staycation over there at Universal.
Yeah.
And this is actually going to be just after we check out.
Yeah, I see that.
Unfortunately for Taylor, but if you guys don't already, you guys can follow us on Instagram at Goldgell Getaways, and Carnival or the Mardi Gras kind of carnival kicks off on February 6th. And you can follow along on Instagram. I'll be trying to do some stuff that weekend. If I don't make it over there opening day, it'll probably be like Monday, to maybe try to avoid some of the crazy crowds that will certainly be there for opening day Mardi Gras, because it's opening day, so everybody has to be there for that. But it's, if you've never been there to Universal, it's a great time. If you feel comfortable to come down and visit both Disney World and Universal right now. Disney's going to be having Festival of the Arts going on, and you can check that out
till the 22nd of February.
Till the 22nd of February, and then you can come over to Universal and check that out over at Universal Studios, Florida. That's how they do it, right? I always get confused. I always want to say Orlando. But you can sample flavors from Puerto Rico, Trinidad, Tobago, Germany, Spain, and other regions, including, of course, New Orleans. So it's a lot of fun. We talked a little bit about the parade that they do.
I haven't even been over to Universal for Mardi Gras, and looks like it's a possibility I might not get to see it this year either, since our stay is going to be right before it starts.
Yeah, and I know we talked a little bit about them doing the parade. I don't think that they're going to be doing the parade. I see a fleet of pirate ship-themed floats will be on display throughout the park, along with a collection of Universal's classic Mardi Gras floats. So
it's probably going to be kind of like the Christmas stuff.
Probably a little bit. It sounds like it's going to be spread out a little bit more throughout the park to probably try to disperse the crowds a little bit, which I think is fine.
Yeah. In the past, they have done a thing where you can actually sign up and get on a float and throw beads out during the parade. So obviously they won't be doing that this year, but it would be awesome to eventually do that in the future again.
But it says you can get beads. There will be surprises all around the park.
Oh, I'm sure you're still going to be able to get beads. Like, that's a big thing. Like, that's what people want.
That's all Mardi Gras about.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just quickly, because this is like something I always enjoy every year, is the Seven Seas Food Festival over at SeaWorld Orlando. It'll be from February 5th to May 9th. Oh, so it's long. But it is only on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And you can sip and sample your way around the world with exciting flavors and local craft beers and live performances, which they actually have some really awesome performers during some of these festivals. I know I like jokingly said last year, Billy Ray Cyrus was actually there, or was supposed to be there, because this was like when everything all happened at the beginning of last year. I was like, oh my gosh, maybe Miley Cyrus will make a surprise appearance. I was like, we need to go. But no, Seven Seas Food Festival is actually awesome. The food is really good over at SeaWorld. And I think like we were really surprised the first year we went how good it was, because you don't really hear a lot about SeaWorld. But I mean, we have always had the best time with the food over at SeaWorld during Seven Seas Food Festival. So,
yep. Cool. If nobody else has anything to add, we can move on to this week's topic.
Want me to start?
Yeah, sorry.
I mean, you can.
No problem.
So
what we're talking about.
So this week, we thought it'd be a good idea to kind of talk about some alternate dining options, specifically around Walt Disney World. If you've got allergies, specifically food allergies, right? Tree nuts or gluten or anything like that. It's really important to know that Disney 100% is looking out for you and your best interests, and they're there to take care of you. So Christine actually has some good knowledge about this whole thing. So we're going to throw it over to her, and
Okay.
we'll kind of chime in, if we feel like we need to, and just talk about it. So take it away.
Sounds good. Well, I have been gluten-free for many, 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 many years. Some people go gluten-free for diet. I had to go gluten-free to save my life. It got to the point where my esophagus completely closed, and it was due to gluten allergies. So having to adjust through the years, in your own home, obviously a lot easier to do, but going on vacations was a struggle in the beginning. As I went to Disney more and more, we learned little ways of interacting with the staff at Disney, and how to make sure that my food was safe, how it was prepared, how to talk to the chefs, if there wasn't an allergy menu, how to eat at the quick serve locations if you wanted just a little snack instead of the dining restaurants. So through the years, Disney's gotten really, really great with using the My Disney Experience app with updating the menus, especially for all the allergies. Some restaurants will just do gluten, some nuts, some seafood. More will have eggs, dairy, a variety of different things. So if you have multiple food allergies and you're booking a package with your travel agent, that is very, very important. That's a starter to let your travel agent know that you have food allergies, what your food allergies are. Because when your travel agent works with you, you want to make sure that they are finding the right restaurants for you to eat at that is going to be safe and can accommodate your food allergies, plus give you a lot of options. Now, obviously, with COVID, a lot of the restaurants have scaled back a little bit with their menu, but pre-COVID, there were a lot more options out there, especially with the quick serve locations too. So through my years of experience, what I have learned is when I've made my dining reservations, it will give you an option. Do you have any food allergies? Make sure you click that box and click each food allergy that you have, that you want to make sure that when you arrive to check in at the restaurants, it flags the staff at that check-in desk so they know. At that time, I will ask if they have a food allergy menu. Some locations will, some will not. So if they do, that's great to have, but I have learned I just feel more comfortable to still ask to have the chef come out. It may take an extra 5 or 10 minutes because the allergy chefs, there's only very few of them. It's very busy, especially with food allergies. So just taking that few extra minutes, the chef comes out, they will go over the whole menu with you, alter things if they can to your liking. If there's something on the menu that you don't like, but they'll kind of play with it a little bit for you to meet your needs. They write everything down. They will tell you how to know it is your food that's coming out, whether it's a designated plate or if there's a label that's with your food, a little allergy food stick in your food so you know it's yours. So it's not cross-contaminated. Most of the restaurants and quick serve locations do have dedicated fryers, dedicated kitchens just for all food allergies. So again, to avoid that cross-contamination with that. So it's just, again, through the years, learning, checking the app for updates on the menus. So some of the places that I've enjoyed when it comes to breakfast, pretty much a lot of your sit-down restaurants, most of it will be gluten-free, your eggs, your meat, depending on which meats that you get. You can get gluten-free Mickey waffles. That was yay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's the whole,
That's priority.
Yeah, I mean, you go to Disney, you got to have a Mickey waffle. You can get gluten-free pancakes, gluten-free French toast, depending on the location, gluten-free donuts, muffins. So again, a lot of breakfast varieties. Pre-COVID, I liked Garden Grill for breakfast. I felt very comfortable, very safe. My family could eat because they're non-gluten-free majority of the time. So they would have their own platter. I have my own platter. So again, felt very safe for that. When it came to lunches and dinners, depending on the sit down you want to do restaurant wise, and you weren't looking at the quick serves at the Magic Kingdom, I've always had great success at Beer Guest. I know they've changed the menu through the years. The last time I ate there, I believe was 2018. So definitely before they changed a lot of these prefix menus that they've had. But I looked a couple of days ago at their allergy menu, and currently what they're offering for gluten-free allergies, you can choose from like pork tenderloin, filet mignon, salads, dinners, soup, and a dark chocolate truffle dessert. So desserts, especially if you're gluten-free or you have an allergy, you know, desserts are very hard to come by depending on the location. So Disney really accommodates that as well. At Epcot, we have gone to Teppanyaki. For those of you not familiar with Teppanyaki, that is the Japanese cuisine hibachi grill. What is nice with
It's a really good
Teppanyaki?
place to go to. Like,
Yeah.
we've been there several times, and
We love hibachi.
yes,
It's one of my favorites too.
What the chef will do when the chef comes out is you will be given two options. At least I have with the gluten-free. Option one is they can cook my food first and then cook everybody else's because of the soy sauce. Or they have a dedicated kitchen in the back that they can cook yours back there where they cook everybody else's. If it's a big party of just my family, I cook mine first. Just, you take those moments when you feel a little special with that. But with the gluten-free, Teppanyaki does have gluten-free soy sauce. They have gluten-free dipping sauces for your meats as well. So again, you're not feeling excluded. The only thing that you can't have, obviously, are the noodles, but they definitely give you the rice, the vegetables, things of that nature. So it's pretty much the same complete meal as everybody else at the table will have.
Yeah, I didn't really think about Teppanyaki just because they do cook everything on that same flat top surface right in front of you.
yeah.
I honestly didn't even think about that. We've eaten there in the past. My cousin has a tree nut allergy, but I honestly don't even remember anything really being different there. But it may have been because of what his allergy was. There wasn't really many issues at the restaurant.
And I think a nice thing again, which I had mentioned earlier, is that like, them cooking that food you first before they cook everybody else's, like you said, is kind of a nice like little. I think that's kind of like a nice little magic touch, kind of like you were saying. That, like,
it does make you feel a little bit special.
And taken care of.
Yeah, the one thing I think about all the time, because you had mentioned desserts, Christy, the desserts at Ohana, it's bread pudding. And my cousin's allergic to tree nuts. Well, the bread pudding, that bread may have been cross-contaminated at some point in time. So they told him he was not able to have that. And so the chef was like, well, he's like, do you like ice cream, blah, 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 all these other things. And he's like, oh, yeah. And he was like a little kid at the time. And so after our bread pudding came out, his nice, beautiful cookie ice cream tower dessert came out. And we were all like, we want that.
Yeah.
But he had like a really nice special moment at the dinner that night because he got this really cool dessert that nobody else got.
And that's one thing I can say for Disney, especially when it comes to kids, they really go above and beyond making those special touches for them, just so, because especially for kids trying to eat out in just their neighborhood restaurants, they're not going to have those experiences. So when Disney does that for those kids, it just takes them to the moon. And I've had parents even talk about how, they go to tears because they just haven't seen their kids be able to experience that type of thing. Mm-hmm. So it's really nice to see. So Hollywood Studios, we do as a family more quick serve there. We've eaten at Brown Derby, but this is probably 5-6 years ago. Usually Hollywood Studios, we do more quick serves. And ABC Commissary has an extremely long list for a variety of allergies. I would highly recommend them. Check them out for their allergy menu. they have everything from, again, seafood, gluten, nuts, egg, dairy. They have such a huge array of a menu there. I would definitely check them out for that. And Animal Kingdom, I've always gone to Satuli Canteen in Pandora. That is just, my family knows that that's our go-to place at Animal Kingdom.
It's the best quick service.
We love that one too.
On property.
To create those bowls that you can get,
Oh man,
and design them how you want. It just, yes. And there's so much food again that two people can split one bowl.
Oh yeah, especially
sure.
for like a lunch, like that's perfect.
Yes. Yep. And then for Disney Springs, I love fish. So when I had to give up fried fish, unless I make it gluten-free myself, Raglan Road.
Oh,
I just Raglan Road, love it. And the first time we went there, when I found out that I could get gluten-free onion rings too.
Oh wow, yeah.
Sold.
Oh man.
Sold. So again, it is tough, but as you travel to Disney, you learn the little tricks. Again, don't hesitate. Don't be embarrassed to ask to speak with the chefs, because ultimately, especially if you have a severe allergy, it's the best to do.
Oh yeah. I know, like that was anytime we have gone on vacation with our whole family, we would have like 12 or 13 of us, sometimes more, at dinner, breakfast, lunch, and dinner basically every day. And we always knew that it was going to be part of our meal was the chef was going to come out, talk to my cousin Mikey, while we all kind of looked at the menu and figured out what we were going to get. He would be able to figure out what he was going to have too.
Yeah, I specifically remember in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, over at the Plaza.
The Plaza restaurant. Yes.
Because it's mostly sandwiches there, and the bread, basically any bread is like potential cross-contamination with tree nuts. So,
yes. I would say the one downfall, at least with gluten-free, that I found at Disney, they've gotten better with it through the years, is finding those little snacks in the stores.
Okay.
That, I mean, you might find a gluten-free cookie or a gluten-free brownie, but when you see all that other stuff, all those dessert cases, especially on Main Street, and you're just looking at it, it would be nice to have a little bit more of that there. But I can understand at the same time why there's not, because again, cross-contamination in those locations. So.
Yeah, I feel like I've noticed over the years that they have gotten so much better, not just in the restaurants, they've always been great from what I've noticed, but just overall, like snacks, I feel like they have really been trying to improve on that over the years, especially at like festivals. You're always seeing you see vegan stuff a lot now, but you're also seeing a lot of gluten-free options, and you're seeing basically like completely allergy-friendly little snacks. And I know specifically at the Halloween parties at Magic Kingdom, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Oh, that's a good point.
You can get little chips.
Have you guys participated in that before?
Yeah,
we've done the Halloween party and the Christmas party.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And I was able to get things at both locations. With the trick or treating, there was a special bag that you could carry if you wanted to, an allergy bag. So when you went up to those candy booths, they would know to give you those allergy friendly candies or little bags of, again, fruit or chips or various things like that.
Okay.
That's really cool.
And then what did they do at the Christmas party? Because I honestly haven't seen that before.
Right.
You see it at the Halloween party
different.
because you're trick-or-treating, but at the Christmas party, you kind of have to go up to the counter and get your cookies or whatever it is.
There was gluten-free cookies that were pre-packaged, so that way, it wouldn't be cross-contaminated. So
okay.
Nice.
Yeah. And then hopefully Disney brings them back one day, but the dessert parties,
those
have gotten a lot better too. The last one we did was in 2019 at the Magic Kingdom. And even though with being gluten-free and I wasn't able to go through majority of the line, the chef brought out plates of different things that I could have. And you could, again, have refills of any of the items. And so Disney through the years has gotten great.
That's really good to hear, though, because I do remember specifically going. I don't remember. Were you with us?
I remember. It was an ordeal for sure.
It was something. So we did a Christmas party, and then we did a dessert party during the Christmas party so that we could watch the fireworks over from the Tomorrowland Terrace area. And basically my aunt paid for my cousin to go to this dessert party, and he basically couldn't eat anything. He drank milk. And that was pretty much it. But I mean, this was years. This was at least 2009, maybe.
It was in 2009. I remember that specifically because.
So I mean, that's like 12 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's a while ago, and
we're going on 12 years ago now.
Extra that we went back, we talked about doing a dessert party again. I don't think we did, but we talked about it, and Mikey specifically said, "Oh, that was really cool. I'd like to go back." And Tina was like,
because he liked it for the firework viewing.
Tina's like, I'm not going to buy an extra dessert party ticket so that you can go sit and watch the fireworks. Like, it's too expensive if you're not going to like eat any of the food, which not his fault. But
so it's good to hear that they've gotten better with that, especially basically just bringing you out your own special desserts. It definitely makes sense to not be able to go up through the line because it is basically all desserts that are definitely cross-contaminated because it's like buffet style. Speaking of buffet, do you ever go to like any buffets on property or anything? Or
we've done buffets when they were there. We had Chef Mickey, Crystal Plaza, sorry, and Cape May at the Yetton Beach Club. I felt safe at Chef Mickey. Crystal Palace, I didn't have any cross-contamination, but I didn't feel as safe. So with that situation, I was able to ask them to bring like eggs or the meat or potatoes from the back and bring it out to the table instead of being at the buffet line. Cape May, that was for the dinner, the seafood dinner that they have. Again, same thing. I felt safe with most of it. If there was something that I could tell as I was walking through that something had been cross-contaminated, I would just say, ask the wait staff, can I get whatever the item was from the back, and they would bring it out.
Okay, so like you really didn't have any issue. If you saw something, you just kind of asked and they were able to bring it to you, which is good that you're still able to get basically everything you wanted there. So I just wasn't really sure how that worked at buffets. I mean, I know we had done buffets in the past, but I don't really remember like how Mikey did it. But we were also little,
so long ago.
Well, he was younger. Yeah. So he's like 4 years younger than me. So.
Yeah. A question I have, and again, because we haven't really had, even when we were coming back in 2009, 2010, we weren't really paying for our food.
We had a dining plan too.
But, I think, maybe some people might be worrying because they don't know, but when you have, a specific food allergy and you have to go in and you do talk to the chef and maybe they prepare something special for you. Like, are you having to pay like an extra fee or anything like that? Or, is it something that like people need to budget more for or anything like that?
I've always been on the dining plans, and we've never had to pay anything additional. With the environment right now at the parks, I can't say one way or the other if there would be upcharges for those. But usually it was pretty much something that was always on the menu. Rather, say if it was like broccoli, it came with a steak, but I wanted chicken, which came with potato, just kind of swapping the item out. But again, it's not something that I've had to pay any upcharges for before in the past.
It was more of like a substituting type of thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I just wasn't sure, Disney is, of course, a lot of this is based on previous experiences from way back in the day, but they always seem to be very, very accommodating about trying to make sure that you're taking care of, the best that they can for the most part. And I know you haven't been like recently. You haven't been since the parks reopened, right?
Last time we went, no, not since COVID. Yeah.
So like the biggest change right now, obviously, is that there's really no place where you can walk up and do any type of ordering. Almost everything now has been, unless it's a sit down.
Quick services are all mobile order
now. Yeah, let me specifically state that for what I'm talking about here are quick service restaurants. All of those you do have to mobile order beforehand before you go up and do anything. So one thing that I have been noticing is that it seems like they are trying to add more options, both vegan and gluten-free, to those menus, which is really nice because we actually just went and did a dining review today. There's a hair flying around here. We just went and did a dining review today over at Riviera, and right on their menu they had a vegan option that is it was very, very unique to the restaurant. Not something that you would typically see, and especially being a quick service. I think a lot of times quick services get that rap of having just hot dogs and chicken nuggets and hamburgers.
Yeah. We had a really good experience.
We had a great
lunch
experience.
today.
And
It
I
was great options.
I think Disney's kind of starting to learn that, there's more people out there with some of this stuff. And so they're trying to be more accommodating. But I think if you come down and maybe you're worried about that, most of those menus have been updated, especially for quick service, to order something that should fit. And if it doesn't, like you're saying, talk to somebody, and they'll put you in contact with the right people.
Or if you have a Disney vacation planner that has experience with something like this, they can also help you.
Well, and I mean, Christine, you're a perfect example of, of being a travel agent and having that knowledge. Obviously, if somebody came to us, I wouldn't know anything. So, maybe we'd throw them your way. But I think that's a really great benefit of having somebody who's experienced in travel, but also is experienced in helping somebody plan for an allergy or something like that. So,
yeah,
definitely.
What about you, Matt? You have anything?
No, I know. I was taking it all in. I'm not very familiar with
You're writing it all down.
Yeah, that's a good thing about having the show notes. I'm going to be able to go back and make those ideas to clients.
Right.
I'm not very familiar with gluten-free stuff or allergies. I've been lucky, but knowing that it's available for clients and anybody that wants to go to Disney and they're willing to accommodate is really a blessing. A little bit. It's a little bit of a relief to your family, especially when you're spending a good amount of money to go on vacation to Disney.
Sure.
That you're going to be taken care of, and medically you're going to be okay, and they're looking out for your best interest. And you guys, I like the idea of the partnership with the chef, where he comes out and it's like one-on-one, and he's making notes, and so there's really no misconception of what happens.
Stan, I do have a question. Do they still bring out like a giant book of stuff? I remember them doing that at was it at the Plaza?
That was one time because they were trying to figure out, he really wanted a sandwich with bread.
Oh, that's right.
And that was the issue. They were really trying to find something that he could have.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It wasn't cross-contaminated.
So basically, back in the day, what happened was he wanted something, and they brought out.
But like I said, this was also like almost 12 years ago now. So things are it
might all be digital now. It's probably
now.
on an iPad. They just search
but,
it.
And then they also have those things because they know there's people out, more people out there.
But they brought out, I don't know, like a 3 or 4 inch 3-ring binder. They brought it out, and they basically kind of sat it down. They kind of flipped through it, and they're talking about it. And, again, just reiterating that, that they do care, and they're trying to give you the best experience possible so that you can have the most magical vacation while you're at Walt Disney World. So I know that we've been talking about Disney World. Have you guys been to Universal at all?
We've been to Universal a couple of times. We didn't really eat there.
That's fair enough. That's fair.
I mean, I'm hoping to go this year during our little agent thing, our GoldCon in October. I'm hoping to shoot over there for a day or two just so I can check more into the allergy aspect. I know just from research through the years, Universal's starting to get better with allergies as well. I don't know to what point they go to compared to Disney. So that's something that will be interesting to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, because people that go to Disney and know Disney, dining is part of your vacation. I feel like when you go to Universal, at least when we have gone over there and stayed, we want to eat and drink too, but that's not something that we're focused on, is planning our dining. Making those dining reservations for Disney 180 days in advance is that's a big deal.
It's part of the
right now it's only 60 days or whatever, but when you're planning those dining reservations, I know every single trip, like my mom was stressing out. She has like a freaking flow chart written out, like where we're eating, what days, what time we can be there by, like what time we got to get back to the hotel to get ready. Like when you go other places, I don't feel like you plan it out as strategically.
Right.
No.
No, you don't.
It's just different.
But
Christine, quick question. I don't know if I missed it. What about festivals? So like the Food and Wine Festival, the booths, how are they managed at Epcot?
With the festivals, I've gone to the Food and Wine and the Floral Festival. I have found that the Food and Wine has the most options. In wording, they have the most options for gluten-free. But when I say that, I'm saying like maybe 4-5 options max out of all those booths. And I can understand why, again, cross-contamination. So I have never honestly ventured to eat at the booths.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah, I mean,
that's just something for me.
Yeah, it's all prepped in the same area.
So I didn't
There's
even
not
think
really any
about that
space.
as far as cross-contamination goes.
It would really have to be like a completely like allergy-friendly booth, or dedicated to gluten-free or dedicated to vegan.
Right.
Well, not necessarily vegan, but I mean, kind of.
I believe from my research, the art festival going on right now, I believe it's the Mexican booth. I could be wrong on that, so don't hold me 100% to that. But I believe the Mexican booth this year is 100% gluten-free options on their menu. So if I was there, I would probably feel a little bit more comfortable attempting food from there. Yeah. So if again, like Taylor was saying, if there was a booth that had all gluten-free, then I would feel a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, it would have to be like that. Like I'm thinking about shellfish is another bad allergy too. Like you couldn't get anything. If you have a shellfish allergy and they have shellfish at that booth, you're not going to be able to get anything at that booth.
Right.
That's true. Yeah. I didn't think about that at all. That was a great question.
We don't really think about that because fortunately we don't have any food allergies like that. But now that we're talking about it, I mean,
and the other thing too is that I just think like, oh, well, of course they have gluten-free options, but I didn't even think that like that is also something that you have to worry about is cross-contamination, especially if you have a very serious,
if it's a gluten allergy and not just a gluten, gluten-free choice.
Yeah. So
that's good to know.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of good info tonight. Like
for sure.
Yeah,
I didn't overwhelm anybody.
No, I don't think so at all because I feel like we get questions on our Instagram and Facebook all the time about allergy stuff, and I honestly don't even know what to tell them half the time.
We're just gonna forward them all to you now.
Okay.
We have some more. We have like some better information now of like kind of how to direct them and that sort of thing. And then if they're ready to book a vacation, we're going to send them to you for sure.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Well, I don't really have anything else to add. Matt, you have anything else to add?
Just a quick thing. I'm going to give a little teaser for next week. Royal Caribbean group cruise announcement next week. Unfortunately, it won't be Barbados. Womp womp.
So just so everybody knows, this is different than obviously.
This has nothing to do with the Alaska trip. I will have 100% separate. I will make the announcement next week, so be here for the live announcement.
If you've been following the podcast for these last couple of weeks, you will know what they're talking about, sort of, because we had talked about this Barbados cruise. Do you not remember this?
Yeah, but this isn't what we're doing.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, oh, everybody was all excited about this Barbados cruise. Ooh. But it's not going to be Barbados, but another group cruise, which is also super exciting because if you've never been on a group cruise, they are awesome. You need to go.
You'll see people dance like me. Terribly.
And it's such a good time for making friends that also like to travel.
It is.
That is like one of the best things. Like we are still friends with all the people that we went on our very first group cruise with. And like they were actually just sending messages to me during this live stream tonight. So
and of course this is live, and so I should probably watch what I say being on a live stream. But I think one of the biggest things that I was worried about was like meeting people on the cruise that might be a little weird.
Oh, my inbox is going to start blowing up right now.
But funny enough, the thing about it though is I think that you have to be a little bit outgoing to start with to kind of take that leap
and go on a group cruise with people you don't know.
And go on a group cruise. Now, of course, on the last group cruise, we had people that didn't hang out with us the entire time. It's not required. It's not required for you to do all of the activities or any of the activities. So pick and choose.
There were some people we saw every single day, all the time, and there were a few we saw just coming and going as they were able because they had plans too. This is also your vacation, so I mean, you make it your own, whether that's hanging out with everybody or hanging out by yourself and just popping in to say hi once a day or whatever.
Sorry. Jazzy's on the floor growling right now. I'm not sure why. She's not being bothered. But, yeah, cool. I'm excited. I have very little details. Only a few details. So, we'll see what happens. Christine, thank you again for being on the podcast tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Very, very insightful. A lot of really, really great information. Again, anybody out there that's watching or listening in the car, if you are interested, know somebody who may need help planning their next vacation, especially if they have some type of allergy. Definitely Christine is the best place to go to. I'm sure that we have other agents that can help you as well if her inbox starts to get too full. So we still don't have a good ending.
No, but are we back next Wednesday?
It said on group cruises that the Bionic bar is required.
Oh, the Bionic bar.
Val said the Bionic bar is required.
So we got to go Bionic bar right to silent disco, and then you get the privilege to dance like Josh.
Yeah.
I don't think I had any Bionic bar drinks for that.
Josh, you might want to say you have. We got a question in the chat. What day next week, Josh? We back at it on Wednesday?
I mean, I don't have my schedule pulled up at this right this
Gotta check
second.
the calendar.
We don't want you to miss out on video games and stuff.
We're gonna be over at Universal.
Oh, we might have to do on Friday next week.
Nice. We get more information. Fridays I like. TGIF.
Yes, I think
Friday'd probably be best.
I think Friday will probably be best. So we'll be back at it on Friday, February 5th, 2021. So, all right. Nothing else?
Nope. We need
all
a
right.
closing.
All righty. Well,
I think that is the closing, is that you don't have a closing.
We don't know what to say. Thank you, everybody, for watching, enjoying, listening, doing whatever that you're doing, and being a part of the podcast. So
make sure to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube.
Absolutely. Yeah. Follow us on Instagram. Check out all of these other wonderful people on all of their networks as well. And we will see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.